Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my educational vlog. Our discussion for today is all about justice. Now, the term justice, it is derived from the Latin word justitia, which means joining or fitting, or if bound or tied. Now, the concept of justice has been analyzed and defined differently by philosophers, political thinkers, economists, sociologists, and leaders. It has been changing from time to time, depending upon the conditions and circumstances prevailing in each age. It has to coordinate and draw a harmonious balance between rights and duties of people living in our society, and it is connected to the moral, social, economic, political, and legal relations of an individual with others. Justice also, it is a concept of moral rightness based on ethics, rationality, law, religion, equity, and fairness. Now, here are the characteristics of justice. First, we have human welfare. Now, social justice intersects with social welfare, and it's concerned for the extent to which persons have equitable access to resources for human development, both within a society and globally. Next, we have ethical concept. Justice is a complex ethical principle with meanings that range from the fair treatment of individuals, the equitable allocation of healthcare dollars and resources. In light of the challenges inherent in defining justice, it is fair to say that it is a concept involving fairness, equality, and equitable treatment. Next is changeability. Transformative justice is a series of practices and philosophies designed to create change in social systems. Mostly, they are alternatives to criminal justice in cases of interpersonal violence, or are used for dealing with socioeconomic issues in societies transitioning away from conflict or repression. We also have the fulfillment of reasonable interest, the performance of duties, and to provide everybody his reasonable share. Yes, you don't need to be selfish. You have to share their responsibilities, shares with people. And lastly, justice is related to values prevailing in society. Now, let's talk about the basic postulates of justice. First is the truth. The pursuit of justice can take many forms, and truth-telling is an essential one. Truth-telling is essential to achieve long-lasting peace and social change. Next is uniform values and the equality before law. These include discrimination because of race, color, sex, sexual orientation, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, disability, or other status. In Section 8 of the Act also provides that everyone is entitled to equal protection of the law without discrimination. Next, we have the liberty. The state of being free within our society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life. Then next, we have impartiality, the equal treatment of all rivals or disputants, the fairness. And next, we have the respect of individuals' ability and capability. And also the protective discrimination is not injustice. And lastly is the provision of our rights and the fulfillment of our basic needs. Now let's move on to the kinds of justice, or what we call the dimensions of justice. Now, first one, we have here the legal dimension of justice. Justice and laws have closely affinity with each other. The state makes laws and implements them in order to establish justice in our society. Now, we have here the following conditions are necessary to ensure legal justice. First, just laws, equality before law, uniform legal system, impartial and independent judiciary, inexpensive and efficient justice, and lastly, democratic organization of legislative bodies. The next kind of justice is what we call the political dimensions of justice. Nobody should be denied of political rights, and to provide equal political rights is political justice. We also have here the conditions that necessary to ensure political justice. We have universal adult franchise, the right to contest elections, the right to criticize the government, the right to form political parties, the right to protest, the right to petition, respect of human rights, and the protection of the interests of minorities. Political authority should be based on the consent of the people, democratic system, special provisions for the protections of the interests of backward classes and backward tribes. And political justice stands for a free and a fair participation of people in the political sphere. And the next kind of justice is social dimension of justice. Social justice means to give proper opportunities to every citizen in every sphere of life to develop his personality and to end all types of social inequalities. We also have here some conditions that necessary to ensure social justice. Equality before the law, absence of special rights, prohibitions of discriminations, to end caste system, just distribution of wealth, democratic government, just balance between freedom and social control, social security, provision of equal political rights, protection of interests of minorities, and abolition of social values. And the last kind of justice is what we call the economic dimensions of justice. Economic justice means to provide equal opportunities to everybody to earn his livelihood. It also means to help such people who are not able to work and earn their livelihood. The basic needs of everybody, such as food, cloth, shelter, should be fulfilled. The unequal distribution of wealth needed to be stopped. Now, we also have some conditions that necessary to ensure economic justice. First, the right to work for everybody, the fulfillment of basic needs, to reduce wide economic disparities, protection of the interests of workers, from each according to his ability and to each according to his needs, just distribution of wealth and of economic exploitation, special protection of the interest of weaker section, the limited right to property, the question of state interference in economic needs, fixed economy is better, equal wages for same job. And we can conclude that justice is concerned with human welfare and the protection of reasonable interest. It can be experienced only when each citizen will perform his duties in right perspective. Now, justice as equality. Now, what is equality? Equality is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. Now, there are also types of equality. First is freedom. We also have our right to live our life to the fullest. We also have our freedom for movement. And next is welfare, the protection of our interest of poor people, affirmative action, and also resources, the country's wealth. And lastly is the political, our freedom of speech, expression, and association. Now, there is also aim of justice for equality. All people should be treated equally unless there is some significant differences between their cases. Thus, justice and equality require rules to set out how classes of people should be treated. And justice as equality, all people should be treated equally. Justice and equality require rules setting out how categories or classes of people should be treated. And we will end this discussion with the quote, "The dead cannot cry out for justice. It is our duty of the living to do so for them." By Lois McMaster Buchhold. Now, thank you for listening to my